What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a closer look at one of the most fascinating bantamweight matchups of the year, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong. This isn't just another main event, it's a clash between two completely different styles, two dangerous fighters and two men with very different paths to victory. On one side you have Umar Nurmagomedov, one of the most complete fighters in the division. On the other, you have Song Yadong, a powerful and explosive striker fighting in front of his home country in China. So today we are going deep into this matchup, breaking down the advantage, the dangers, and exactly what each fighter needs to do to get their hand raised. Let's get into it. Umar Nurmagomedov's biggest advantage in this fight is the fact that he is incredibly difficult to prepare for. When you face a pure striker, you mainly worry about the striking. When you face a pure wrestler, you focus heavily on defending the takedown. But Umar forces his opponents to think about everything at the same time. His kicks, his movement, his wrestling, and his ability to mix different attacks together make him extremely unpredictable. Against Song Yadong, that unpredictability could be one of the biggest weapons Umar brings into the octagon. The striking range will be extremely important in the opening round. Umar is not the type of fighter who simply rushes forward looking for one big punch. He uses distance, kicks, feints, and movement to make his opponent react. The goal here is often to create hesitation. Once an opponent starts worrying about the takedown, the striking becomes more dangerous, and once they start focusing too much on the striking, that's when Umar can change levels and attack the legs. That constant mental pressure could make Song's job incredibly difficult, but Song Yadong is not going to stand there and allow Umar to control everything. Song is one of the most explosive strikers in the bantamweight division, and he has the speed and power to change a fight instantly. His hands are fast, his combinations are dangerous, and more importantly, he doesn't need many clean shots to hurt someone. Against Umar, Song's biggest opportunities could come during moments when Umar is entering range or attempting to transition between striking and wrestling. That could be the most important battle of the entire fight, Song's ability to punish Umar's entries. If Umar shoots from too far away or becomes predictable with his level changes, Song could make him pay with knees, uppercuts, or powerful punches. A fighter like Umar may have more ways to win, but that doesn't mean every path is safe. Against a striker with Song's speed, one bad entry could completely change the fight. Another huge factor is going to be Song's takedown defense. Umar doesn't necessarily need to take his opponent down immediately and keep them there for an entire round. Sometimes the real value of wrestling is simply making your opponent defend it. Every time Song has to defend a takedown, fight for underhooks, or work his way back to his feet, he spends energy. More importantly, it could slowly take away the explosiveness that makes him so dangerous on the feet. And this is where Umar's style becomes especially dangerous over 5 rounds. Song might have the power advantage in certain exchanges, but Umar has the ability to make the fight complicated minute after minute. If he can force Song to constantly switch between defending strikes, defending takedowns, and trying to get back to his feet, the physical and mental fatigue could start building. By the championship rounds, those small moments can become the difference between reacting quickly and being 1 second too late. However, we cannot ignore the fact that Song Yadong will be fighting in China. The atmosphere in Shanghai could be absolutely electric, and fighting in front of your home crowd can give a fighter a massive emotional boost. Every successful combination, every defended takedown, and every big moment could create an enormous reaction from the fans. The question for Song will be whether he can use that energy intelligently. He cannot allow himself to become too emotional and start chasing a knockout, because that's exactly the type of mistake a patient fighter like Umar could exploit. For Umar, fighting in enemy territory could also create an interesting challenge. He will likely be hearing the crowd react every time Song lands something or has a successful moment. But Umar has built his career around staying composed and fighting his fight regardless of the environment. His ability to remain calm could be extremely important here. In a hostile arena, the smartest thing he can do is silence the crowd slowly by taking control of the fight instead of trying to force a dramatic finish. The longer this fight goes, the more interesting the matchup becomes. Song's most dangerous moments could come early when his speed and explosiveness are at their highest. Umar, meanwhile, may become increasingly comfortable as he gathers information and begins establishing his rhythm. This doesn't mean Song can win late, but if Umar can survive the early danger and start making Song work defensively, the momentum could gradually move in his direction. Another factor that makes this fight so fascinating is the difference between their paths to victory. Song Yadong can absolutely win by landing something devastating. He has the power to hurt Umar and potentially finish the fight if he catches him clean. But Umar doesn't need to rely on one single path. He can win a striking battle at range, he can mix in takedowns, he can control positions, and he can potentially use his versatility to win rounds even without finding a finish. Over the course of a 5-round fight, having multiple ways to win is a massive advantage. That said, Umar cannot become overconfident. Song is the type of opponent who can make you pay for even a small mistake. If Umar starts believing he can dominate every exchange, he could give Song the exact opening he's waiting for. The smartest version of Umar in this fight is the one who stays disciplined, uses his full arsenal, and refuses to give Song predictable opportunities to land his biggest shots. For Song, the blueprint is different. He needs to make Umar uncomfortable from the beginning. He has to show that every entry comes with consequence. He needs to use his speed, protect himself against the takedown, and take advantage of the moments where Umar is forced to close the distance. Song doesn't necessarily need to knock Umar out in the first round, but he needs to give Umar a reason to hesitate. If Umar starts thinking twice before shooting, Song's chances increase dramatically. For my final thought, I think this is a fantastic fight because both men have very real paths to victory. Song Yadong has the speed, power, and home crowd advantage to create a massive upset. If he catches Umar during an entry or finds a clean combination early, we could see the entire arena explode. But when I look at the complete picture, I keep coming back to Umar's versatility. His ability to attack in multiple areas means Song will have to make the correct defensive decisions over and over again for potentially 25 minutes. That's an incredible difficult task against someone who can change the fight in so many different ways. My official prediction is Umar Nurmagomedov to win. I see Song having dangerous moments, especially in the early rounds. I would not be surprised at all if he hurts Umar at some point, but over a 5 rounds fight, I believe Umar's ability to adjust, control the pace, and give Song multiple problems will eventually be the difference. I think this will be a tougher fight than many people expect, but in the end, I see Umar Nurmagomedov getting his hand raised. But now I want to hear from you, who are you picking in this massive main event? Do you think Umar's complete game will be too much over 5 rounds, or can Song Yadong use his speed, power, and the energy of the Shanghai crowd to pull off the upset? Let me know your prediction in the comments and tell me exactly how you think the fight ends. If you enjoyed this full breakdown, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more UFC analysis, predictions, fight news, and in-depth breakdowns. Thanks for watching, enjoy the fights, and I'll see you in the next one.